And boom, hey up troops, ALYTTLETON here again with another video. Right, quick one. Unbelievable time, and it's currently 7:02 for me in the evening. I've just sat down to make a video tonight, and the R6 official account has just dropped a cheating and anti-toxicity update that I think needs a mention because this is a bloody hot topic at the moment, and I understand why. So, as with anything like this, when I run through patch notes or when I run through an update to things like this, I've not read this, and it's 2 minutes ago. I've genuinely not scrolled down even once. I did then, but that didn't count. So I don't know what's in here as much as you don't. I suspect they're going to acknowledge that cheating is up. Probably try and mention a few things that they're trying to do to implement. But of course, they can't tell you exactly what they're trying to do because then the cheat makers will know. So, Shield Guard anti-toxicity update. They're going to go through a status overview, some exploits, Shield Guard security, live security updates, which is probably needs to happen more. Account-related bans. This is interesting if they're acknowledging this because I've heard about this. Sorry, I've got some broccoli in my teeth there. I should probably edit that out, but I won't. Standing distribution update. Reputation system sanctions, test and abandonment penalty, privacy. Right then, so the R6 Shield Guard team is here to give an update on anti-cheats here. Okay, good. Status overview. Since the launch of Siege X, it's clear this doesn't make good reading, this graph. It's clear that there's been a surge in cheater reports. Indeed. The share of matches featuring players who receive 4 or more... Hang on. The share of matches featuring players who receive 4 or more cheater reports within that single game has risen from 1.8% to 2.5%. Right, I'll come on back onto that in a second. That proves a point that I'm adamant about. This spike is tied to the evolution of in-game exploits and the ongoing development of cheat programs, which is a nightmare. It'll be an ongoing battle for the rest of our lives. We know the impact this has had on the enjoyment of the game for many, and we are very actively working. If you're already actively doing something, can you be very actively doing something? On solutions. We've deployed several fixes since launch, though some of the improvements needed to strengthen R6 Shield Guard will require long-term development. Our goal is to make meaningful progress throughout Season 3 and beyond, ensuring we protect the game's integrity and improve your overall experience. So, let me address something. Is that? No? Okay. Let me address something quickly that doesn't help the game. And what doesn't help the game is well-known content creators and pro players tweeting for some bizarre reason. You know, you have a bad game, you have a bad night of cheaters at the top level of ranked, and you're frustrated. But going on Twitter and going, great night of Siege, 10 games, 7 cheaters, what a waste of time. What does that do? Apart from get you 200 likes on Twitter and everyone going, yeah, no, it's crap, and it's all I'm doing is playing cheaters at the minute. I am adamant, right, that, I was going to say I couldn't click on console, but console's the grey numbers at the bottom, which is obviously mousetrap, which is much less. There are fewer players cheating in this game than everyone is led to believe. The problem is when you've got well-known creators and pros tweeting about it, everyone who's then playing in silver suddenly thinks everyone's cheating in their games. They're not. Cheating is bad at the minute at the very top level of ranked. I play there every now and then. My account, my hidden elo was like high diamond, low champ at best. So when I play, a lot of the people I play with tend to be sort of high emerald, low diamond. And I would say the average people I would say in my lobbies there's average 2 diamonds, 3 champs, or 3 diamonds, 2 champs. And I would say I've been playing 1 in 5, maybe 1 in 6 cheater games, which, and whether you agree with me here or not, in this day and age, I don't think is too bad. There are other games which are literally unplayable. However, when you get to the top level of ranked, in like champ, like top 5,000 champs, I'm well aware that cheating is bad there. I was playing in that the other night. I was playing with people who were top 500 champ, and we did run into a few cheaters. So I'm not being blind and naive by saying, I don't play cheaters, therefore there isn't a cheating problem. There is, but it's not impacting your gold games and your plat games and your emerald games and your silver, bronze, and copper games as much as you... Not you, I don't mean you, I'm talking about the community as a whole. I know most people who are actually in this community and channel are fairly level-headed, actually, which is a lovely thing to have, to be fair. I'm lucky in that sense. So nice one if you're involved in the old YouTube community and you've watched my videos for a while. I don't have many knobheads watching my videos, apart from that one guy that keeps telling me I've got hay fever because I got vaccinated. But anyway, so it doesn't help, and I wish they wouldn't do it, but they do, and I get you frustrated. But I think a lot of creators are a bit younger, aren't they, than me, and I sort of, maybe I look from the outside in a little bit more, and a little bit older, a little bit wiser, if I say so myself. So cheating has gone up. It was real bad here. Well, I remember Year 9 Season 3, and before then it would have been higher up here. I remember like towards the start of Year 9, I had a stream where I played a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on stream, and I had a ticker on the stream, like a text ticker on the stream, and I played 22 out of 25 games were against cheaters. And my cheat radar is wonderful as well. I'll do my research in R6 Tracker. I'll watch replays before I say they're a cheater. I'm not just going to get wallbanged and go, he's cheating. I'm not like that. So, I know cheating's up. But what I will say, and this is not... Look, I've been lucky enough to work with Ubisoft. I've got a charm in the game. Thanks very much. I've been to various parts of the world, all thanks to Ubisoft. And what I'm about to say is not me brown-nosing Ubisoft. If there's criticism to be had, I will give criticism. However, at the Montreal Major, last November, I think it was. Yeah, it was last November time. I was lucky enough to be in the Montreal studio at Ubisoft, and I sat with 3 or 4 of the anti-cheat team and some of the, I think there was a UI dev there and some of the community toxicity devs. They care more about stopping cheating than me, you, everyone who watches this video, every knobhead who posts on Twitter that cheating's bad, combined. They want cheat. It's their job. Like, of course they care about it. They're passionate about it, but it's a nightmare to stop, frankly. And I talked about this on another video. It's a cat and mouse, isn't it? You know, the anti-cheat team is always a step behind the cheaters because the cheaters are developing something, and then the anti-cheat team only know what they've got to beat once that exists, and they go, "Oh shit, they've done that now. Right, we better find something to stop that." Do you know what I mean? You're always a step behind. There are things you can do to try and stop them developing things, and that's what they're trying to do. But I need people to understand that Ubisoft care more about this game than everyone gives them credit for. Of course they do. At the end of the day, it's a business, right? We live in a capitalist society, as much as we all might moan about that at times. We talked about Starbucks and Amazon on the last video. But it makes money, and it makes a lot of money. So if you're telling me a business, Ubisoft is a business, doesn't care about, I would probably guess, the largest revenue stream that they have. I know Assassin's Creed is right up there, but I would say Siege is the largest revenue stream they have. If you think they don't care about it, you are a plonker. They do care, and they do want to stop cheaters, and they are doing an immense job at it. And this might be a bit of pill to swallow for some, but you will have cheaters in your game every now and then. It's going to happen with the way that the world is, with these gimps that live. I'm sure it's a mental health problem, you know. I'm adamant of it. I'm supposed to be reading through this, and I've just gone off on a bit of a tangent, but I just want to get across. I know it's frustrating when you play a cheater. I know you should think we shouldn't play any cheaters. That'd be lovely. In the real world in 2025, there are gimps in the world that will cheat in games to gain an advantage. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the truth. And I feel back here, like end of year 8, start year 9, I was getting really frustrated with cheaters. I was messaging people, DMing people, saying like, is there anything we can do about blah, blah, blah. I've just come to terms now that every now and then I'll play a cheater. And, you know, the numbers go up sometimes and it's getting better, but you just have to sort of accept it. And if you can't accept it, you're going to get wound up. And I don't know what to suggest. But I know for a fact that the R6 dev team, when it comes to cheating, are really well thought of in the FPS world as well. I've spoken to various people in high places at different IPs who I've met at different events, who've gone to the Ubisoft anti-cheat team for advice on how they've dealt with certain things. Mousetrap is revolutionary in the industry. What they do with Shield Guard, where they close the game, start it up with a different code that it doesn't match what it was before, it's ruled out like 80-90% of cheat makers that can't exist anymore because they aren't good enough to keep up with how Ubisoft are changing things. But there are some devs out there and some cheating developers out there who are keeping on top of it, obviously, because they're still cheating in the game. Anyway, that's my thing on cheating over with. It's unfortunate. It'll happen, but it's a lot better than it could be, but it's maybe not as good as it should be. Maybe. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. But I'll tell you now, they're doing a bloody sterling job, and they care more about it than everybody else gives them credit for. So, exploits. And there's been a few of these recently, hasn't there? With the release of Siege X and the increased number of players, bugs were found in the game that could be used to gain an unfair advantage as other teams and players. Yeah. These exploits are also a form of cheating. With the help of our community, we've been able to address several major exploits as part of our recent patches, including multiple teleportation glitches, legitimate external overlay applications providing unfair... Oh, that's OBS, isn't it? Unfair visual advantage, impossible diffusing spots, or impossible use of weapons and gadgets, and crashes caused by specific operators. To be fair, they did well with that, didn't they? Castle got sanctioned, so you couldn't play them whilst they sorted that out. We've also identified we're actively fixing additional issues, updates rolling out as soon as they're ready. I want to sincerely thank everyone who's contributed, content creators, players, and those who submitted reports of our R6 fix. Your input has been crucial. Many of these exploits, global solution. Yes, agreed. Yeah, I think they've done all right with that. Look, this again, it's like it's frustrating, isn't it? But you can't have this sort of bull in a china shop. As a dev and a game dev company, you know, if someone says, "Oh, they've learned how to plant on the roof in Oregon," and it's like, unfortunately, someone's figured it out somehow. But you can't just be a bull in a china shop and dive into the code and go, right, get that out of there, get that out of there, and that'll fix it, because it could have all sorts of implications on different things. And in a company such as Ubisoft, no doubt someone will have to log a ticket, someone will have to address it, someone will have to do a load of testing. Okay, change that code. Does it still work? Yeah, it does. But now all of a sudden, when Capitao fires a firebolt, it goes in his own eye. So we can't change that bit of the code. Right, okay, put that back. Trust me now. Take that bit of the code out and do that instead. Does that now work? No, well, no, when I've done that now, Kavera actually interrogates itself whenever you crouch. You know, okay, well, let's put that. You know what I mean? You've got to do so much QA, QC testing, whatever you want to call it. So, Shield Guard security throughout Operation Daybreak, which is what we're in now. I think, yeah, that's right. I struggle with the season names. I do. It just doesn't go in my brain at all. We've deployed several like I know Year 9 Season 3. I could tell you what operator it was, but I couldn't tell you the name of it. I really struggle remembering the names for some reason. It just doesn't go in my brain. We've deployed several updates to our underlying in-house obfuscation technology. I'm going to Google that word, because if I'm being brutally honest, I don't know what that means. What does obfuscation mean? The action of making something obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Obfuscation. I would consider myself somewhat well-versed in the English language. I don't think I've ever seen that word before in my life. Obfuscation? Cool. So basically, technology that makes things unreadable, unclear. In-house obfuscation technology, I can't say that, which hides and protects game code. These updates have strengthened our defenses, and while we're already seeing some positive trends, more updates will be coming with a hot fix. Yeah, that's good. It does help. We're also constantly investing in reducing, stopping new gameplay violations while improving our detections. Talking speed. Yeah. You know what does me head in with these hot fixes, right? They'll do a hot fix, and it might rule like 90% of cheaters like they can't play for 48 hours or something until their cheat gets updated. There's always that one knobhead, excuse me French, who's on Twitter, who goes, "Oh, you've just deployed a hotfix. I've just played 3 games, 2 had cheaters straight away." Yeah, mate, that's obviously incredibly unfortunate. Like, I don't know, man. I just can't be doing with the. I should not. If I didn't do this as a sort of part-time side thing, I wouldn't have any social media. I just can't be arsed with it. The thing, a good mate of mine, right, once said to me, you know, you used to get them weirdos in the pub or in the bar, and they'd sit in the corner and they'd have these mad opinions, and you'd all have in the local town. It'd be like, oh, there's Jim who sits in the corner, and he thinks that if you stand, he thinks that certain things in the air make your brain rot, and you'd be like, yeah, just go and have a word with him. He's a nice guy, like you can speak to him, but he's got some wild opinions, man. Like I think he's gone a bit west. The problem is, Jim has now got Twitter in this day and age. And Jim sat in the corner of the pub and bar. He's 10 pints deep, and he's giving it beans on Twitter about all sorts of things. But the problem is, Jim, who used to be quite secular, has now found other Jims across the world via social media, and they're all sort of gathering. You know, they do that, don't they? Yeah, COVID was a hoax, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, in fact, that guy who comments on my videos, that's Jim. So that's what Twitter's become, hasn't it? And unfortunately, it's the biggest idiots in the world tend to have the loudest voices on social media. Normal people just go about the day and don't say anything about it. So that's why you can't take things like TripAdvisor. I'm going off on a tangent in this video, aren't I? You can't take things like TripAdvisor and Google reviews that seriously, because if someone comes around and lays some tarmac for you on your driveway and does a good job, you're like, yeah, sweet, I've just paid him for it. That's exactly what I expected. Thank you. That's what I wanted. If he does a bad job, you're on the internet straight away. Right, I'm ruining his business. I'm making sure he goes bankrupt. He's gone tomorrow. He's never doing another driveway again. Or if he's incredible and backflips his way down the drive as he's doing it, then you might leave a 5-star review. But if somebody came around and did the job you paid him to, you wouldn't go and leave a review, would you? I don't know. I don't think people would. Not everyone anyway. Maybe you do if they've done a great job. But the same as TripAdvisor, isn't it? You go to a hotel, you find a skid mark in your bed, and you're on TripAdvisor, aren't you? Never stay here again. Can't believe it. Skid marks in the bed. You go to a hotel, you have a good night, you go out, you wake up, you leave the hotel and go, that's exactly what I needed. That was a hotel. You're not going to wake up the next morning and go, oh, unbelievable. This Motel 6, this Premier Inn was one of the best places. You're not going to do it, are you? It's only the bad ones that have the loudest voice. Right. Anyway, Excuse me. We've read that. Live security updates. This is what we need more of, I think. You have noticed that CGX occasionally requires a game restart and update every time I load it, but that's fine. If that's what we have to do, it's a small price to pay. This is part of a new prevention system which strengthened our anti-cheat defenses overall. While the system has been effective, we've identified bugs that cause some players to be disconnected from matches or unable to reconnect. Oh, okay. One of the lads who I play with called Strafe has been having this issue. I didn't know that. I didn't know they would acknowledged it. We understand how frustrating this can be and can sincerely apologise for the disruption. The team is actively working to resolve these issues. Okay, good. Account-related bans. This is the one. This is the one that could change things, because one of the biggest things in cheating and why a lot of people cheat is for financial gain, because they'll boost account. You can play with a cheater for 100 quid for 100 games. I don't know what the costs are. And at the end of it, you'll win every game because they're cheating. You'll get to champ and you'll have your champ charm for next season. So people will pay for it to be boosted. This is the one that you want. At the minute, when the cheater gets banned who you've played with, you just lose your elo. But it doesn't matter because you already hit champ. So you get your charm for next season. It doesn't matter if you haven't got the elo anymore. You still get your charm once you've hit champ. We're actively developing new tools that detect accounts linked to previously banned cheaters. If a banned player attempts to return, they're flagged and removed as soon as suspicious behaviour is detected. In addition, we're working on systems to hold players accountable, knowing that they squad up with cheaters. This is part of a broader effort to protect the integrity of the game at every level. So what I've heard is if a player plays with a banned cheater for a certain amount of games, they will also be banned. I don't know what that figure is, because you've got to consider. Someone joins my Discord tomorrow, and I put a message on Discord. Oh yeah, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, and if you want to play with players on console or PC, there's loads of people in there looking to play all the time. So if someone messages in my Discord tomorrow and I fancy a few games, does anyone want to play? And I'm like, yeah, I'll play a few games with you. Which I do all the time, by the way. So if you ever want to play, get in Discord, and I'll play games with people all the time. If someone comes and does that, and then I've queued with them 5 times, and on the 5th game I go, whoa, hang on a minute, he's a bit sus. Do I then get banned because I've played 5 games with him? But I think after 5 games, I think you've got to start knowing that someone's going 12-2 every game, and you're wondering what's going on. So you've got to be careful who you play with, but I think you have to do it anyway. It's a bit of vigilance of who you play with. But I think there's going to be a number higher than. So what do you think the right number is? 10 or 20? 20 games maybe. If you've played 20 games with a cheater and he gets banned, you get banned. I think if you're playing with a cheater and you don't know he's cheating after 20 games, I think that's on you. I think you've got to know someone's cheating after 20 games. Maybe not 5 or 10, but after 20, yes. I think even 10 you should know. So yeah, that'll be massive if that comes in, because that, of course, means anyone paying to be boosted will have been playing so many games with this cheater that when they get a ban, they will also be kept banned as well. So it's going to stop boosting, which is one of the main reasons people cheat. There are people out there who cheat just to ruin people's day, and that is the weird one to me. That is mad to me. I always, when I'm playing a cheater and whatever their name is on the game, I always think that person's got a real life outside of cheating in Siege. Like, they've been to work today, they've been to college, they've been to school today. They've probably got friends at school. Well, you'd think maybe they haven't actually, but they've got mates at school or at college or at work, and they go, anyway, yeah, have a good night, mate. What are you up to tonight? I'm just going out with the missus. We're just going to walk the dog, mate, have a bit of tea or something, maybe. What are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know, just probably chill out, play a few games or something. Oh, have a good one, man. And he goes home, loads his PC up, loads the cheats up, and sits in front of his PC, drooling, sniffling. This is what I imagine every cheater looks like. That's what I think every cheater does. And but then in the morning, wake up in the morning, go and see, how was your meal out? Yeah, walk the dog, mate. Unreal. What about you? Just play a few games? Yeah, I was on a win streak last night, actually. I was playing really well. Do you know what I mean? I think about it like another level, going, this guy, he's been out and about. The literal real life people in society. I wonder if you've ever queued up at Tesco or Walmart or wherever you live, and the guy in front of you is a cheater in Siege. Can you imagine if you found that out? When do we get the technology where there's like a floating sort of halo above someone's head to show that they're a cheater in Siege, or any game actually, and they can just be publicly shamed? You know, like in Game of Thrones, you shame as they walk through the shop. We've gone off on a tangent again. I apologise. Permaban numbers, Battle IR6 Shield God. Check out the last 12 months of permaban data, including new data for April to July. Well, that's right up to date. We can see here that the number of monthly bans has remained steady since the launch of Operation Prep Phase, which was about here, I think, with over 11,000 permanent bans issued per month, which is probably would think it'd be higher than that, really, with how many there are. Although then again, they're just making you account. The rise in cheaters being felt during the month of July, however, investigations were started into whether our systems were still banning with the same effectiveness. previous months. The investigations led to adjustments being made to R6 Shield Guard, which resulted in an additional ban wave completed in early August. It has been better in August, I have to agree. But what is concerning here is look at the number of bans, which, as they say themselves, where does it mention Operation Prep Phase? Excuse me here. It's remained steady since the launch of Operation Prep Phase, which was February. It has remained pretty steady. But if we go back up to the graph, Operation Prep Phase was here. And this is the number of cheaters. So if the number of bans has remained steady, look at the number of cheaters that is above the number of bans. You know what I mean? So there's a rise in cheaters, but there hasn't been a dramatic rise. It's been, a slight rise from what? 9,000 up to 12. Well, it's about 25% more, maybe. That's 50, 60, 70% more. No, that's 100% more. It sounded like Donald Trump when he was on about reducing drug prices and he said he'd reduce things by 1,500%. How'd you do that then? Right then. With the rise, we've read that. Okay. How can you help? Activate two-factor authentication. How does that help? How does that help stopping you? Keep your factors. That's why we strongly enable it. Oh, so no one can log into your account and nick your account. It's protecting your progress, showing to fight cheating, keeping the community safe. Oh, I mean, there's no reason not to have 2FA on anyway, in my opinion. Reporting, in-game reporting continues to be the best way. People don't believe this works. I'm looking at you, Strafe and Hard Big X. I know you don't believe in it, but it does. Helping us to identify potential cheaters and take action. It's set up here. The number of cheaters who receive 4 or more cheater reports within a single game. And I know for a fact, because I've had this confirmed to me by certain people at Ubisoft, that is like, so cheating reports go into like a folder or whatever it go, they get filed and they'll get looked at, or they'll get data on it. Obviously, they don't look at every single cheating report. But what will happen is if one person gets reported 4 times in one game, that report goes right up to the top, and that gets like a, when you send an email with an exclamation mark next to it, that gets looked at. Reporting, yeah, we know about that. Okay. Provide an understanding of player perception on the current state of cheating at a global scale. Your in-game reports help by, right, okay. Final note, protecting the game from cheaters and exploit abusers. Oh, my Teams is going off on my work laptop. Why are people teamsing me at 7:25? 7:24, we've been doing this 20 minutes. Throughout July, teams have consistently delivered fixes and improvements in order to release stable functions. Some of the fixes may take more time, but our commitment to act quickly and effectively when issues arise continues. Elements of our future R6 Shield Guard updates are also that's tough, are also already underway, with more to be revealed soon. Why not? We're not slowing down. Focus is clear. Keep CJX fair, secure, and fun for everyone. Fairs. Right, toxicity. Anti-toxicity. I don't experience a bad amount of this, to be honest with you. That's probably because I'm not female, which is one of the worst, because blokes turn into absolute idiots when they hear someone's voice in game chat. Reputation system, standing distribution update, standings year 9, season 40, year 10, season 2. So, okay, well, this is positive. These are good numbers, aren't they? So the number of exemplary and esteemed players is way up, although it did drop slightly. And the number of dishonorable and disruptive players was down, but has gone up in year 10, season 2. Only slightly, though, by 0.4% and 0.2%. So that relates directly, doesn't it? Almost. 8.5, 7.9 almost relates to 2.5, 2.9. That's like almost in line with each other, isn't it? The ones that there's less esteemed and exemplar and slightly more dishonorable and disruptive. I like graphs. Disruptive communication. On top, anti-toxicity systems are scaling the CJ. We are now seeing a reduction in communication reports per match. Minus 14% for text chat, minus 27%. Well, that's a lot. 27% is a big number. This is all... That's a bit patronising. And you're on the other end of this video going, 27% is a big number. Who is it? I had no idea. I didn't realise that was a big number. This is also partly thanks to the new chat wheel, which allows people to communicate. Yeah, I think that's a good function. No reason not to use that for other people. Reputation system sanctions. Since March 2025, we temporarily banned over 4,600 players who completed an excessive amount of negative actions. Wow. 3 of 5 players adapting their behaviour, not going on to offend again. It's like digital prison, isn't it? And bloody good for it. Dual front activation. The reputation system is now active in dual front. Oh, okay, cool. So you have a different reputation for dual front, do you? Right, okay. Oh, no, it's part of the same reputation system. It's just reports in dual front now feed into your reputation elsewhere. Before, that never used to happen. Text chat moderation went live in December 2024. Yeah, some of that's okay, but sometimes you can be like, "Oh, what you're doing now is, why have you died there?" And it'll be like, "Oh, this is offensive." Year 10 Season 3 be implementing functionality which enable players with a reputation standing of respectable. Okay. Voice chat, this is where they're bringing in AI, like sort of moderation for voice chat so you can hear if people say certain words. With the addition, we're utilizing our experience with text chat moderation to balance this new system. Yeah. I mean, it'll take a little while to get in, but there's no reason not to have it. If you can't play Siege without saying words that would flag up as offensive, sexist, misogynistic, racist, homophobic in that, then you're a clown, frankly. Appendment penalties. Appendment penalties, although necessary, can be a source of great frustration. Yeah, what's going to happen with these? We receive them unfairly. This season, we've already lessened the length of penalties, though there is more to come. We are actively working to implement a system that will target repetitive patterns over a longer period. Yeah, so at the minute you ban abandonment penalty, first one's 5 minutes. First one used to be an hour, so that is better. Privacy settings. Yeah, this is good. Nicknames will be auto-assigned, which is huge, isn't it? So that's what you want. So when you say you want privacy mode on now, your nickname will be automatic. So it's not like you're going to be able to type something offensive in there using letters and numbers to say something. So yeah, that's fine. Oh, this is interesting though. I did know about this. All players will have their nicknames removed at the end of a match, revealing their true usernames. I think that's good. So at the end of the game, if whatever the auto, let's just say the auto name that's been generated is mobile phone. Mobile phone has been toxic all match. They're team killing. They're saying things in all chat, saying things in voice chat, and you think this guy's a clown. At the end of the match, it will reveal what their actual username is. So if you want to make a report on them, you can make the report on them. So you're only anonymous while the game's going on, and at the end, it's all like you take the mask off at the end of the end of the game, and you can go, "Oh right, so you were the idiot, were you? I know your name now. I'll report you." Final note: we're very proud of the evolution we made. Your feedback together, we're a more positive environment. The reputation system is working well on Siege X. I do agree with that. We are devoted to our goal of making Siege fun and a safe game for everyone. Our work will continue through Year 10, Season 3 and beyond. Your feedback and support will always be key. Stay positive, and let's continue to make the game better. All right. Stay tuned for the reveal on Sunday, August 17th. I've seen it already, I might add. I've played the reveal. I've played the new season, sorry. And I can't say anything about it, although there has been a new reveal on socials today to give you a good indication of what the gadget does. Right then, ladies and gents, that is the cheating or shield guard and anti-toxicity update for Year 10 Season 2. Some good stuff in there. I do wish this is a concern. The increase there and not seeing the increase there is a bit of a worry, but I can't stress enough what I said at the beginning of the video. The guys there care more about it than anyone I've ever met, and they're doing the best and doing some pretty good work to try and stop cheaters. We will, unfortunately, no matter what rank you're in, no matter what game mode you play. I played someone who was cheating about 2 or 3 weeks ago in deathmatch, in a warm-up. He was wall hacking in deathmatch. Imagine how much snot he produces when I was on about sniveling cheaters going. Imagine how much of a snotty cheater you've got to be to go and cheat in deathmatch. It's not even, you don't even get like a rank for it. You get nothing. It's bonkers. Anyway, so yeah, not a bad update. It's far more detailed than a lot of the anti-cheat updates used to be. So this is big. Account-related bans. If they can nail that with the right number, you play with a cheater for more than 20 games, queue with a cheater, not encounter them, because you could encounter somebody a few times. You could solo queue and be on the same team as someone 3, 4, or 5 times in a month easily. So if you queue in the same stack with someone who ends up being banned for cheating, and you've queued more than 20 games with them, your account gets banned as well. I'm up for that. I think that's all right, and that will stop boosting. Right. Anyway, we've gone off on tangents this video, haven't we? We really have gone off piste a little bit. But yeah, some good stuff in there. Thank you as well if you've got this far. I don't believe anyone's watched 29 minutes of me talking about anti-cheat. I don't believe you have. If you have, you can comment wolf. I don't know if that. My daughter got back from nursery today and she said she made me a wolf mask. She said she made it. I believe what she's done is printed it out and cut around it and wrote her name on the back. I don't think she's actually drawn that on Photoshop and printed it off. So I didn't pull her up on it. You know, she has 4. But I think she meant she's printed it off. But she did cut eye holes in it maybe. So yeah, good that. Anyway, if you don't know what to comment, put wolf mask. In fact, if you put wolf mask, there's going to be a load of furries turning up wearing wolf mask. It'll appear in some like AI search. that a video's got comments saying wolf mask. Right, thanks as always for watching the channel. I appreciate all your support. Yes, you, even you. I'll see you next time. All the very best.